My name is Lorenzo. I go to San Jose State. I'm 21 years old, and I work at an after-school program for the city of Milpitas, where I watch 1st through 6th graders. The way that I really came to believe in the Lord is that I didn't grow up in church. I wasn't the average Christian that everyone thinks of. I really didn't believe in God. It was just me and my mom growing up, and she had over 11 surgeries. She fought breast cancer twice, and throughout this process, I really didn't see how there could be a God when I was struggling so much. But in 2006, when I started to really search to see if God was real, He really started to answer questions for me, and He changed my life around. This year, I really believe God gave me this vision to really see revival come to the Bay Area, and that when we look around the community, whether we believe in God or not, we just look around and we see how it's not safe for our kids to walk the streets anymore. Drug abuse and alcohol is on the rise, and these are just things that really show that this generation needs something to cling to, someone to believe in, to help them get through this time. And I just really believe that God, that Jesus Christ is really the answer to a lot of this generation's problems. The basic definition of revival is restoring something back to life. So what we're saying by that is that the Bay Area right now is lifeless by not having any faith or hope right now to cling to, with unemployment on the rise and different things affecting this generation, that they need to be revived, that we need something and someone to really believe in and to have faith in, and that Jesus is the one that can really be able to answer these needs and answer these problems that we have today.
This is what the heart of revival really gets to, okay? Whoever acknowledges me before men, I will also acknowledge him before my Father in heaven. But whoever disowns me before men, I will disown him before my Father in heaven. Revival isn't anything fancy. It's just saying we need to wake up so that we go out and we share with the people. And it's not to lift up Praise Christian Church. It's not to lift up Basic, but it's for His kingdom. Because the Father is asking us to do it. It's not a question of when it needs to happen, of if it needs to happen, but God is saying that the church needs to wake up, whether you want to call it revival, whether you want to call it awakening, whether you want to call it a turning point, whatever you guys want to call it to wake you up. Bottom line is, God is saying, I want my people to rise up so that your generation doesn't have to be known as the last Christian generation.
I have grown up and I've seen how God can really change people, and I do believe that God can change this generation, that He can really help the people that are in need and really bring faith to a lot of people that are hopeless right now.
What the disciples realized, what Jesus even realized, is that it was nothing about Him. It was nothing about them. When the disciples decided to follow Jesus Christ, and decided to follow God, it became nothing about them, but what they could do for them. It wasn't, how can God make my financial situation better? How can God make my family situation better? But it was, how can I further His kingdom? And now for the rest of us, if tonight you heard this message, or if you actually took on the challenge of this last week to think about what you were delivered from, what your testimony really is, if you had forgotten, or if this message, something in this message spoke to you, and you want to either recommit your life to the Lord, or you want to say, God, I've gone too far away, there's no way I could come back, I want to pray for you tonight. Because there's no distance, there's nothing that can separate you from the love of God. Amen.
And for someone who is just as this generation is, just really hopeless, didn't have really a lot to look forward to, God really changed my life around and gave me a hope that nothing else could really give me. And so in experiencing that and experiencing how God is just so real, that I just really believe that this generation could be changed just like I was, and that God can really bring them the hope that He brought me.
And open the heavens wide, and open the heavens.